You already know this experiment, even if you've never read a word of psychology. A small child, a table, one marshmallow, and a promise. Wait 15 minutes without eating it, and you get a second one. The ones who could wait, the story goes, grew up to be healthier, richer, more successful, because they had the one thing that matters: willpower, self-control, discipline you were simply born with or born without. Traders have been told this about themselves for decades. You either have the discipline gene or you don't. There is only one problem with that story. When scientists ran it again, properly, it mostly fell apart. For 50 years, the marshmallow test, it's been the tidiest fable in all of psychology. Resist the treat at 4 years old, and a straight golden road opens up in front of you. Better grades, better health, a better life. It's irresistible because it feels true, and because it flatters us. The people who succeed simply wanted it badly enough to wait. It turned one small moment of a child's patience into a prophecy about their entire future. In nowhere did that fable land harder than in trading. Because trading is one long marshmallow test. Sit on your hands, don't chase, don't grab the quick profit, wait for your setup. So the leap felt obvious. The winners must be the ones with the willpower gene, and the rest of us were just wired wrong. The waiting child simply grew up into the disciplined trader. Fate sealed in childhood. This is the lie the flinch loves most, because it lets you off the hook completely. If discipline is a fixed trait, something stamped into you at birth, then there is no point trying to build it. You blow up an account, and the voice says, "See, it was never in you. You're just not the disciplined type." It feels like humility. It is actually surrender, dressed up as biology. Hold that belief up to the light, because the study it all rests on does not say what you think it says.
You either have discipline or you don't.
Start where the myth was born. Stanford, a university nursery, the late 1960s and early 70s. The psychologist Walter Mischel watches small children try to resist a marshmallow, and years later goes looking to see how they turned out. In 1990, Mischel, with Yuichi Shoda and Philip Peake, publishes the famous result: the kids who waited scored higher as teenagers. It becomes one of the most cited, most repeated findings in the history of the field. But look at who was actually in that study, because almost nobody ever does. The long-term predictions rest on a tiny, unusual group, somewhere between about 35 and 90 children, drawn from families connected to Stanford University. These were not ordinary kids from ordinary homes. They were a small, privileged, non-representative slice of the world. The authors themselves warned that the samples were uncomfortably small. A caution the fable conveniently forgot. An entire theory of human destiny built on a handful of professors' children.
The famous result rested on a few dozen Stanford children.
So in 2018, a team led by Tyler Watts, with Greg Duncan and Haonam Kwon, did the thing science is supposed to do. They ran it again, but bigger and fairer. Not a few dozen Stanford kids, but roughly 900 children from genuinely diverse backgrounds across the country. 10 times the sample, and this time with enough data to ask the question that really mattered. And here is where the beloved story cracks. The link between waiting as a child and doing well as a teenager was still there, but it came out only about half as strong as the famous original had claimed. Half the size. The prophecy was already, quietly, shrinking, but they weren't finished. Because the real question wasn't whether patient kids did better, it was why.
Run again with 900 children. The effect was half the size.
So they controlled for the things the fable had ignored: the child's early cognitive ability, the family's background, the home they grew up in. And once you account for the home, for wealth, for a stable, resource-rich environment, the effect shrinks by about 2/3, and its statistical significance essentially disappears. The marshmallow was never really measuring some inborn willpower gene. It was largely measuring the child's circumstances, whether, in their world, a promise of wait and you'll get more had ever reliably come true. A kid who trusts that waiting pays off is usually a kid who has never had to grab what's in front of them just to be sure it exists. Now, be careful here, because honesty is the whole point of this channel. This does not mean the marshmallow test was a fraud, or that self-control is a myth, or that patience never matters. Some modest real effect may well survive. What it means is narrower, and far more important. The version everyone sold you, willpower as a fixed trait that decides your fate, is overstated, and mostly explained by the home you grew up in. The story didn't lie about the child. It lied about the cause. Discipline was never a gene you either won or lost at birth. And once you accept the real story, something opens up. Ray Dalio built one of the largest funds on Earth on a single unglamorous formula. Pain plus reflection equals progress. Not talent plus luck. Not the trait you were dealt. Pain, faced honestly, plus reflection, repeated. He calls it radical truth, choosing to see reality as it is, over the comforting story that lets you off the hook. The comforting story here is, I just don't have it. The real one is harder and much better news.
Pain plus reflection equals progress.
Because Mark Douglas spent his whole career proving the better news in the language of markets. The disciplined, probabilistic mind that great traders have is not something they were born holding. It is something they built. You train your mind to think in probabilities the way you train any skill. One deliberate, uncomfortable repetition at a time, until the disciplined move becomes automatic. The pro isn't a different species who got the willpower gene. He is an ordinary nervous system that was patiently rewired.
A disciplined, probabilistic mind is built, not born.
Jim Paul learned the same thing, the expensive way, losing over $1 million and then studying why. What he found is that there is no such thing as a losing personality, no type of person doomed to fail. All losses, he discovered, come from the same small handful of behaviors, taking it personally, letting ego decide, following the crowd, traps any human can fall into, and climb back out of. You are not cast as a winner or loser at birth. You are the sum of the behaviors you practice.
There is no losing type, only a few behaviors anyone can fall into.
Which turns discipline from a verdict into a practice. The trait the marshmallow test told you that you were born without. You build it in reps on ordinary days. Every time you follow your plan when it's uncomfortable, you lay one more brick. Every time you don't, you rehearse the opposite. Nobody is measuring your childhood self-control anymore. The only thing that counts is the rep in front of you today. You become disciplined the same boring way anyone builds anything, one repetition at a time. So here is your charge. The next time that voice tells you discipline just isn't in you, that you're not the type, that you failed the test at 4 years old, know that the test itself did not survive being checked. The willpower gene is folklore. Discipline is a skill, and skills are trained. Stop waiting to have been born with it. Start building it, one uncomfortable, deliberate rep at a time. That is the good news. The fable never told you. The thing you were told you lacked is the one thing you are always able to make.